Well, I'm getting ready to move some lumber out of here, so I got room to put more in. But first thing I was going to mention, what I'm going to move them with is this bale fork. If you have a tractor that has a 3-point capability, there is no better purchase than one of these. It's Tractor Supply sells them. They're that King Cutter brand name, but they aren't that expensive, and man, they're handy. I use it for pulling logs out because I can hook high and I can lift, and it just works so well. But they kind of work like a forklift too, because what I'm going to do now is these boards that I've been cutting, I'm going to haul them out. I can just back underneath it and lift the whole works out. But I thought I'd show you, this is what's left of that log. Just these little parts here that I got to cut up for scrap wood, just for firewood. Basswood don't burn that well, but I get rid of it anyway. But I got, I think it's 9 of them that are 1 inch by 12, 9 foot long. And then I cut the 3 of them that are that 3/4 that I'll plane to a half. These are for a particular project, but I won't go into that yet. I don't know if I'll ever go into that, but they're for a project. And these are also for a project. They're that 3/4 that I will plane to a half. These other 1 inch ones, they won't be planed. They'll be left to rough cut 1 inch. But those are for, I want to make a trunk, and that's what that basswood is for, because it's easy to work with wood. But that's what I'm setting them aside for, but I'll probably get at that fairly soon. But then these scraps left over, all this rigmarole, that'll just be burned. But I try to get as much as I can out of a log. And one of the things I was going to mention, people always wonder how, because I don't work at this steady, I just work when I got time. A lot of times in the mornings I work and then I'll go and do my regular job. So I just finished these up today. But I've got maybe a cup of gas left out of a gallon, and that's what it took to cut all of this up. So that isn't so bad. It's fairly efficient, and I'm still on the same chain and everything. One other thing I did, I saved one little chunk here of a nice clear stuff. I've got a 1 gallon crock that I keep my sourdough starter in, and I need a lid for it. And I thought, well, this basswood would probably make a pretty fine lid, so one of these days I'm going to take that, put it in the turning lathe, and knock it down and make it fit. But that's, I try to use up every scrap I can, but when you get down to these thin things that are mostly bark, that's just burning material. But I got, there's a few knots in this, in these 1x12s, but I'm not worried about them. What I really wanted was the good stuff to make that trunk, and that stuff is really good stuff. But I know I'll just slide underneath. Let's haul this, get it out of the way. Because I got a lot more to cut. I don't think I ever showed you how many of them basswood, but I pulled basswood out all winter. So I've got a lot of this basswood piled up. And a lot of it will be cut into, well, probably, maybe not all 1x12s, but assorted sizes of 1 inch boards. Because I have use for them. And I got to cut some 2x4s too. But easy cutting. And the nice thing, basswood is soft enough you can nail through it, it doesn't split. But I'll be working on that trunk one of these days. But it's kind of, I don't rush on any of my projects. I just, whenever I'm in the mood to work on a certain project, I work on that. But I wanted to get this done so I can get it under cover and let these sit. But that's a whole different deal. But good to get that many out of them out of one tree. Well, and I still got half the tree. Well, that works good. But I got a lot of basswood yet to cut. But to be able to do that on less than a gallon of fuel, that pleases me. But I can say it again, if you do any amount of working with trees and brush and those bale forks, I'd be lost without them things. They are just the handiest thing in the world.